Hey everyone, welcome to the Horror PSA presented by Scary Nerd. And as always, we are your hosts. I'm Paul.
I'm Saul.
And I'm Angie.
The following is a public service announcement.
Five college graduates rent a cabin in the woods and begin to fall victim to a horrifying flesh-eating virus which attracts the unwanted attention of the homicidal locals. I don't know why, but we watched Cabin in the Fever 2002.
Cabin in the Fever?
Cabin in the Fever.
It is a Cabin in the Fever because you had to have a fever dream to wonder what the fuck was going on in half of this shit. Cabin Fever.
By Eli Roth.
Wasn't it? This was one of his first movies.
This should have been his last movie. Is all I'm
Should have
saying.
been no movies. This
Good
movie.
Lord.
I didn't like this movie when it came out. I watched it in 2003, probably, when it was on not VHS.
Whoa,
but it came out
Grandma.
on something.
What's a
I don't know.
VHS?
I remember IFC because IFC was doing like a month of indie horror movies, and I remember seeing this one there, and I was like, "Yeah, that
This
wasn't
one
that great."
doesn't make any lick of sense. And I think that's what I've always hated about it.
If I could just really quickly say that this is the first time I watched it, but thanks for skipping over me, Angie.
You're welcome.
Goddamn bastard. I remember seeing parts of this movie, and I've never seen the whole thing until
the things
today.
The things that I remember the most about it are a few iconic, or not iconic shots. Some of the things that
There's nothing.
No.
nothing iconic. It's just I remember where they
Mr.
see
Mamba?
where they see. I think it was Marcy when she rolls over and you see the flesh eating all the everything off, and you just see her teeth. I remember
That was
that.
Karen.
Was it Karen?
Karen's the blonde.
Oh, Karen was the blonde. Okay, I remember that. I remember Marcy. Marcy was the one who was shaving her legs.
Areola.
Yeah.
I remember that, and then
She was Areola.
yeah, in
in another teen movie.
Was she?
Yeah.
The foreign exchange student that was always
Oh
the
my
topless.
God.
She was
Naked.
Areola.
Makes sense.
So I wanted to start this thing like, what happens when you have Areola, that kid from Super Troopers, the guy that Ray fucked in Scary Movie 2, and that one dude Sean from fucking
Boy Meets World.
You'll see,
And
I
put him
always
in a
think-
crappy horror movie.
No, see, I don't think of Bert as from the guy that Ray fucked. I always think of Bert from the he was one
Detroit
of
Rock
the
City.
Detroit
Yeah,
Rock
Rock
City
City.
kids.
See,
Yeah.
but he looks more okay. But
Winston was too.
Yeah, he was the other kid.
Yeah.
Right? So, but for Bert, he looks more like he did in Scary Movie 2 now than he did when he looked in Detroit Rock
Yeah,
City.
'cause he had the
was
long
way
hair.
younger and he had the longer hair and he was a
Yeah.
lot skinnier. So I always see him as like, Ray, fuck me. Wait, what?
What?
And then the other thing I remember most about this movie is the movie poster in the back of my comic books.
This movie, I hated it from the get-go because it's one of the movies. It's like if you made a horror movie and every person in the horror movie was dumb as shit.
Oh yeah,
Just so fucking stupid and just made every wrong choice. And you're like, I hope every one of these fuckers dies.
Yes.
Every single person in this
If you
thing.
get the people that will act the worst
The
in
worst.
the movie
yes.
and
To be
throw them together.
The absolute worst of humanity.
Like, was everyone
them
a
into a
horrible
movie.
actor, or was it like they were all high the whole time? Like, I don't get it because I'm like,
I don't even think anybody was that terrible. It was just
they
it
were
was
bad.
it wasn't
The
that
movie was
to
bad.
me. It was the dialogue.
Yes.
It was the
Oh, the
actions.
dialogue-
It was everything.
the dialogue definitely didn't help, but the acting was horrible.
And was Eli Roth the weird guy that was in the woods, Grim or whatever?
Yeah, that was Eli Roth. Well, the thing about it though, I didn't realize.
Didn't
at
he
the
do
ti-
that in the other
Yeah,
Eli
he's-
Roth
he's all-
movie we
he's-
watched too?
He's cameoed as himself in just about almost all of his movies.
Stop it. That's fucking weird. I don't know.
But the thing about it
You should stop
though
making
is
movies. I don't care about the cameos. Just stop making movies.
when they were sitting around the campfire telling the story about the bowling alley massacre.
Massacre.
When they had the happy guy and they showed him, I honestly thought that was Eli Roth, but it found out it's his brother.
Yeah.
I was like, and his brother just looks like him. I'm like, Eli Roth shaved his head for this and grew out a little weird goatee
I
thing.
only noticed because I was like, his eyebrows aren't quite that bushy. So I was like, that's not him.
Yeah, I thought it was him until I started looking it up. I'm like, oh, that was his brother. I didn't realize he has brothers.
I do have to say, all right.
This movie is so frustrating.
Okay, yeah, it's frustrating because I think this movie has good bones. Like the basic story, I'm like, it's not a bad story. It's a decent, it's a weird thing. You don't explain the virus, or you don't whatever, and you don't have to. And if you do it the right way, you really don't have to, right? But I think just the execution and just everything, and like you're saying, the dialogue on top of the acting, on top of like just, there were moments where I'm like, why are you being cheesy just to be fucking cheesy?
There's a lot of cringe moments.
Like
in the
it
movie.
really is like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'll just take all this weed by myself. Like, oh no, sit down, sit over by me.
I
Like,
thought he was funny. No, you didn't. You liked his weed, bitch.
He had
Like,
weed. He wanted the weed, so now he's endearing.
and like in real life, I'm like, no, there's something in that weed, and you're gonna steal our organs.
And I
I'm
always
not
thought
getting high
it's
with you,
so
bro.
funny how in movies they're like, I'll just have all this. Nobody has that much weed. They're just giving away for free.
No.
Yeah, if you're
No one.
like a homeless dude hanging out with your dog in the middle of the fucking like backwoods of wherever the fuck they were, like you're not gonna have a big bag of weed.
No. You don't
No.
have weed that much. And if you did, you found ditch weed
Yeah.
somewhere, and I don't want to smoke it.
Or you
Thanks,
stole
though.
someone's hemp, and you're trying to fool the dumb city kids.
Yes. Oh, yeah, this movie makes a lot of terrible decisions.
And again, it's the whole like, there's so much of it is just like, go out in the middle of nowhere, and everybody out in the middle of nowhere is just fucking an asshole and terrible. And you're like, but why though? Why are these people awful?
And there's because I feel like this movie put so many stupid tropes and elements that like it tried to just cram them all in and be like, if I throw all these things in, it'll make a good movie.
I think
No,
that's
it
part
doesn't.
of Eli Roth's problem, though, is he tries to do too much. Well, it's like, dude, just stick to one thing and don't try to do other
Like,
stuff.
what was really the fucking point of the weird the weird village of the damned porch kid?
I don't know.
What was the fucking kid's name?
Dennis.
Dennis. What was the whole point of him? At first, I'm like, it's like the banjo kid in Deliverance. I'm like, you're just trying to get that vibe by
It
throwing
was
this kid.
legitimately the banjo
Yeah.
kid.
So I'm
from
like, okay,
Deliverance.
is that what the vibe you're trying to give?
The thing that I do
I'm like,
remember
oh no,
about-
he bites people. Okay, well that's not even.
Well, that
needed.
was the other thing about it, though, too. He says, like, oh, everybody knows you don't put your hand near Dennis because he'll bite you. And it's like, well, one of them, Jeff, made the point. It's like, well, you guys maybe should put up a sign that says don't put your hand near him or don't touch him because he'll bite you because you're going to get sued.
Put a cone on Dennis.
Yeah, but
Just don't. You need a sign. Put a cone on Dennis.
I don't know, man. After a pandemic, I'm like, if somebody's out here biting things, maybe keep them inside.
well, the other thing I remember too back then that again, it's just his weird little pancakes yelling and his taekwondo.
karate.
No,
karate.
when that
Fuck. Okay.
When
that
what
came
the
up-
fuck was that?
when that came
Exactly.
up, when he pulled up to the shop, I was like, oh god. And Paul's like, what? I'm like, I remember this scene.
Yes.
It's awful.
Yes, because
I
that's
didn't
what
know
they-
it was
oh,
going to
you
be that bad when you were like. I
It's
remember this.
slow
I'm like,
motion karate, and for no fucking reason.
It made no sense back then. It makes no sense now. And
They were just letting Dennis show off his skills.
Yes.
They're like,
They're
all right,
just
it's your
letting him
time to
do pancakes.
shine, Dennis.
yes.
yeah,
Do a
again,
roundhouse and let that mullet fly.
nothing makes sense.
Again,
Not a thing.
Again, that makes to Eli Roth. It's like some of the choices that he makes to put in his movies. Just you don't know why.
Like that house they found, right? Like when Marcy steals somebody's canoe and rides it across the lake, and she comes upon that house. They make it seem like that house is deserted, right? Like
Yeah.
maybe all those people are dead because there's like stuff outside and
Yeah.
blah blah blah. But doesn't Paul go there again
Yeah.
later?
He goes later after
and
everybody's
their
pretty
people
much sick.
are alive, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, what was the point of that whole thing then?
'Cause
That
the
didn't make
homeowner-
any sense.
The homeowner caught Paul thinking that he was peeping Tommy on his wife.
Yeah, and then okay, but then you're not that secluded if
Yeah.
there's just regular people. Like it doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense.
Yeah, it's like we have no way out of here. It's if we go over here, there's a crazy slaughtering pig lady that's like, fucking Murray, tell him. Like, I don't know who Murray is, lady, but I'm like, hey, I gotta go. Our friend's sick.
And they
But all
killed
she
her.
had to do was cross the lake, and it was like, fucking perverts.
Yeah.
That's my wife. Like, looks more like your daughter, sir.
Yes.
And yeah, and okay, I get like they killed her. Was it
Well,
brother?
husband, brother, cousin,
Brother?
whatever.
I
it may
don't
be.
remember. But yeah, they were like, "Oh, we'll just get out of here." Like, no, you need help.
Yes.
I know you still could have been like,
You know you
I don't
need
know,
help.
no, like you could have went with the whole it was our friend or whatever.
I just need to ride to town, and then she would have left you alone, and then you wouldn't like, you know what I mean? Like you
They
just
made
would have been in town.
themselves.
No, she was just gonna CB for the fucking ambulance. It was the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
thing because like nobody has phones. We all use radio there because when fucking Winston comes out later, he's like nobody has phones.
Yeah.
It's all radios.
Oh, radio.
Winston, I hate
Goddamn
Winston. Winston is the worst.
Yeah, you want to party?
The
You want to party, man? Like,
worst.
he's like, okay, he is. If Mr. Mambo was a person, and that was the perfect dog for Grimm. There you go, solved it. Boom.
I don't know what you're trying to say at all, but okay. Yeah, I don't
He's horrible.
enjoy it. He's the same character he was in that 2001 Maniacs movie. He's literally the same character.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot he was in that one too.
Yeah.
He doesn't make great
Oh, my
films.
gosh.
I mean, if we're just putting that out there.
But he was in Detroit Rock
Okay,
City.
and what? Okay, no. Wait,
You know, his name is Giuseppe.
Yes.
what is the point of the random like molesty behavior that he puts into the fucking movie?
I don't know
know.
because
Like, cause Paul does like sit and watch for a while.
Yeah.
oh yeah, he does, and he totally fingers Karen while she's asleep.
Yeah, that whole fucking thing is like that. She's asleep, man. Like you're making out with her, like
She
you're not
didn't
even making out with her.
consent.
Like you're just like, yeah.
Consent, people, consent. It's important to have.
This is. I'm just Eli Roth maybe projecting is all I'm saying. I'm not gonna say anything because
Well,
some
he
stuff.
yeah, he does enjoy the trauma films a lot, and I think that says a lot about his style of horror.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
digress.
yes, I won't. I've already
is
aired
a
my
horrible,
feelings and
uh,
trauma. So
horrible movie.
it's very horrible.
yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
No,
okay,
it doesn't.
But let's get into why it doesn't make any sense. First of all, if you come upon somebody who's like, "I'm dying, I need help," maybe don't fucking shoot him.
Yeah. Well, what's the series? Bert was a dum dum because he's going around trying to kill squirrels and accidentally shoots the dude.
And then he just leaves.
He just
Okay,
leaves.
here's the thing
Just
too. Like,
leaves.
here's the other fucking thing. Like, just story wise, or if you want to look at this like writing a script, or just any way you want to look at it, these fucking people would not all be friends with each other.
No, especially with Bert. He's a fucking
like,
idiot.
You like the whole fucking time it was like, Bert, you're a fucking idiot. Bert, you're a fucking moron. Like you did this, you did that stupid thing. Like you would not be friends with like because the whole thing is like they graduated college, right? So you're at least 22, right?
Did they graduate
Somewhere
or just finish?
No.
I don't know.
This the synopsis thing on DB says 5 college graduates, like they just graduated, right? Like blah blah blah, right? And they're going to some weird backwoods cabin. Like none of this fucking makes sense at all. Like these people would not be friends with each other.
No.
Not
if I
all
just
throughout
graduated,
this, no.
even if I just graduated college, I'd be like, I would not be friends with Bert, like at all.
He's
And
just
why
a
would
giant
Bert go
child.
to be
Yeah, to
a
be
third
the fifth wheel.
Yeah, the
basically.
fifth wheel. Like, what are you doing?
Because even if Paul and Karen aren't even together technically, like it's still weird that you're like, I'm just gonna hang out too. Like, but why?
Why, Bert? That doesn't seem
Because
like
me and Areola are gonna bang all the time, and Paul's gonna try and bang Karen, and you just want to do what? Shoot squirrels? I don't
Shoot
know.
squirrels and start fires.
And no, and like the whole thing when Marcy.
Are you still sad because Ray fucked you? Shut up, man. I'm afraid to be alone.
Like it doesn't make any sense because they're all like supposed to be college, right? And they're
Yeah.
like, and I love that. Is it Jeff? Jeff just is like, peace out. Y'all are getting sick. Y'all are touching each other. I'm
Fuck
headed.
you
I'm
guys.
taking all the beer. I'm not drinking anything. I'm just gonna head on
He
out.
had asshole behavior, but he was in the right though. It's like everybody's sick. I don't want to get
Hey,
sick.
he
I
was
wanna
the only
leave.
one masking up. Is all I'm saying.
Even though he had like what is it like a handkerchief?
Yeah.
Hey, it was better than nothing
Yeah.
because everyone was fucking shitting everywhere and coughing blood and just God knows what. Their crotches were bleeding everywhere.
Right. And then, okay, so after Paul molests Karen, right, and gets sticky fingers, he still is like, yeah, let's bang Marcy. No.
Areola was like, we're going to die. Let's just fuck.
And then he's like, did you use a condom? Like, bitch, it's your dick. What do you mean did I use a condom?
And then what does he do? He
It's a
pours
fifth-
Listerine
it's
on
a
his.
fifth of Listerine.
Yeah, he puts that on his pee
I
pee.
don't
I'm like,
think
oh,
it
that's
doesn't-
not going to do anything, dude.
No.
The
No.
dentist doesn't recommend it.
The fluids have been
See-
shared.
see,
the stuff has been
The
passed.
fifth dentist is why that people believe the Listerine shit works.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When they always say the 4 out of 5 dentists, that fifth dentist is like, no, the Listerine will burn that right off, man. Go ahead.
Yes.
Do it. He's the fucking Dr. Nick Riviera of dentistry. Is all I'm saying. The fifth dentist. Fuck him.
I'm just saying, maybe if there's a contagion situation, don't be fucking your people in close quarters unless you're for sure that you want to get
Well,
it.
see, I'm saying Marcy Areola had already given up. She's like, we're all going to get it. We're all going to die.
Then why is she so freaked out when she gets it?
I don't know.
No.
Well, because it's still, you don't want to fucking live through it still. Like,
I'm
even
healthy.
though,
No,
even though you
bitch.
know it's coming,
No,
like,
you
you don't
won't.
want to, like, fucking be shaving your legs. And, like, I wanted a whole strip to come off. Like, I was waiting for that. I was disappointed that, like, I wanted it from, like, ankle to fucking knee. Like, when she was shaving her legs,
Yeah.
I wanted like a whole skin thing to come off.
And I always
I was
think that that's
disappointed.
such a male-directed scene. No
Oh,
woman is
absolutely.
going to be like, I'm dying, let's shave my legs. Not even if you're deranged. No.
Yeah, I just had sex. Let's take a bath and shave my legs.
Yeah, no. I already had the sex. What am I going to shave my
I'm gonna
legs
shave
for?
my legs in the cum water, basically, is what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Gross.
No, thank you. And that's not even your boyfriend's. I mean, it's just a whole messy situation. And at
Yes.
22, is that really something you want to get into? I'm clean. I'm healthy. Ew, no.
healthy.
No, you're not.
You can't be. Fuck Jeff.
Right? Like not even 24 hours ago is what I'm saying. And sperm can live up in there for a good 48 hours. That's all I'm saying. Science, kids.
They don't know that, even though they're college graduates.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently it's some podunk school. So maybe that's what it is. Like, it was the easiest fucking school they could get into because they were all fucking morons.
Yes.
Because, I mean, the whole thing about the fucking Paul and Karen's, like, this isn't fucking high school, man. Like, this whole, like, beating around the bush with each other thing. Like, with that whole scene where they're out in that, like, dock thing or whatever after they go swimming. And he's like, "Well, did you not like kissing him because it was the dude?" Or
The
because,
whole will
because
they
you knew him
won't
so
they
long?"
thing was ugh.
Like, okay, I get it that was a thing in the fucking like 90s and all that, and there was like Dawson's Creek and all that other shit. But I'm like, you're writing about college graduates,
Right.
and they're doing this fucking like this is like a page out of Boy Meets World right now.
It
Like that's how
really
I
was.
really felt. I'm like, you literally took a page out of Boy Meets World and just threw it in the middle of your fucking movie with this guy. You'd be like, did you not like kissing him because it was your friend, or because you knew him for so long, or because you're just a gross dude? Shut up and kiss me, Sean.
And then like
My name's not Sean in this movie.
when they fall asleep, right? She didn't want to be alone, and then he just starts fingering her. Like
No, like they both
That-
fall asleep. Like
no.
he legitimately wakes up, turns around, and is like, "I'm gonna
this is my chance. She's out cold. Like, what?
you."
What, dude? No.
If you want me to stop, say something.
She asleep.
That
She can't
counts.
give.
That counts.
No
She-
Can't give consent.
I said if she wanted
Consent
me to
is
stop,
sexy.
all she had to
Consent
say
is sexy.
consent.
Consent.
Consexy.
Consent is sexy. Don't be fingering people when they're asleep. Boys or girls, okay? Keep your fingers to yourself.
To yourself.
No
'Cause, hey-
insertion.
Hey, Marcy flips Jeff around.
Yes.
She does. She
Oh,
So did
yeah.
Marcy have a penis, or
No,
did
she
she,
was-
Pegged him.
Did
she pegged him with her fingers. She straight flipped him over and went swoop, right up there, and he was digging it.
Then if Jeff is into that, then okay.
See, all I'm saying is consent with your fingers. Keep your fingers to yourself, unless you get clearance.
Well, Jeff gave clearance. Apparently.
Jeff did give clearance. Okay, so Marcy wasn't in the wrong.
See again.
Paul though.
See-
Paul did not get
No.
consent.
No,
see,
he didn't.
See again. Why do you need those little scenes in there? Like,
Right?
Like as the writer, as the director, like
Well-
as the
And then
the
he
story
gets
by Eli
Sticky
Roth.
fingers.
Like, why do you have all these things in there?
And like
then-
he pulls it out, right? He's got sticky fingers, but like there's a couple reasons
Yes.
why that could happen. You wouldn't automatically know that, oh, she's got this flesh-eating disease, right?
I don't know. That was kind of a lot.
And it's the whole like, and I hated that he does the foreshadowing shit with the honey earlier,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
because that's what that whole scene was.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, but that, like, you putting your fingers where nobody told you to put your fingers, that's your deal, man. You get
It's your own fault.
surprise.
Well, no.
Yeah.
Okay. Then maybe that was his thing. It's like Paul's known for putting his fingers where he shouldn't be,
Mm.
and it's not gonna end well for him.
No. Damn it, Sean.
Right?
So there you go. If Sean would fucking get consent, then maybe he'd still be alive today. Is all I'm saying. I mean, apparently, if he's in the second one, we don't know. We fucking
and don't,
he may
and maybe
be-
don't fuck your friend's girlfriend
Yes.
during a contagion situation.
Ariola fucked him. That's all
Yeah.
I'm saying.
They consented to both of that.
And by that point, Jeff had.
But at
peaced
least they
out.
had consent. Okay.
He was like, I'm
Yeah,
out of
Jeff
here.
was
Okay, well,
like,
okay,
look, y'all
but-
insist on touching the bloody bitch. All right, I'm getting out of here.
Okay. Well, here's my thing with Jeff though. What was the point of Jeff just going in that bush, getting drunk, and then passing out? If
I
he was
know,
just-
I thought he was
if
leaving.
if he was just going to come back the next day to the cabin, right? Like,
Why would he even go back there?
Right?
If- yeah.
Like, trek it out there with all your beer. I
If-
don't understand why you're.
If your whole point was to get away from everybody because they're all sick and they're infecting everybody, and you would think, okay, he's taking the beer and he's leaving. you're right. Why would he go back? There's no reason for him to go back.
Yeah, and if you go back and you see like, oh shit, there's like chunks of people outside, blood everywhere. Like,
Yeah, I'm not going in. I made it. No,
That
you
should-
didn't.
that
You
should
just
have been his
contagion
first
yourself.
warning right
yeah,
there.
you didn't make it because now you took your cover off and you're fucking breathing. You're like, I made it.
All
no, you
those
didn't.
spores.
You're
That
breathing
sh- that-
all that shit in
And
there.
and as a movie watcher, as soon as somebody's like, "I made it," we all
yeah.
know
Yeah,
they
you're
don't.
done. You're done.
make it.
You're done.
And so that brings up another point. Why fucking overdo it the way you do it in a movie? 'Cause
Yeah.
if you know you're going to do that trope, like, why overdo it?
And for me, I didn't make it until I'm back home in my bed.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
know about other people. Like,
Yeah, this ain't the 70s movies. Like, fucking
No.
last week we were like, the movie's over. I'm like, no, he's got to get out still.
I need to
Like,
be at home, and then I've made it.
I need to, like, the further away I get, the safer I feel from right here. So I need the fuck out of here. Because I'm right back in the epicenter of where the fuck we
Right?
started.
Yes.
All I did was go out
Still
and
at
get drunk.
patient zero, like vicinity.
Now
I
there's
don't
more
know.
dead people and blood everywhere. But I made it.
Right? Ugh.
No, you didn't, dumbass. There was
And-
still a virus or some
It's just-
bacteria, where the fuck it was, still there.
It's so I did love Jeff because he's like, that bitch is sick. I don't want any of us to get sick, but you guys insist on touching the sicky sick, and I'm gonna go. All right. So I was like, okay, Jeff, you check it out. You leave. You can be the lone survivor if you can find hitchhike your way out. Right? Like he could have done that.
The thing that got me though is how what's her face Marcy decided to make chili, and nobody wanted it.
I know. Like, hey guys, I know we just kind of killed some dude who threw up on our truck, but I made chili.
Let's make chili.
I made chili.
Even though you've
What?
seen all this blood, this dude's like melting. His face is melting off.
Do we have
Your
salads?
friend is locked in a shack because.
I'll just have a Coke.
Yeah.
Just
Have
give me
a
some.
Coke.
Oh my goodness!
Got
It's
some
like really
French fries, maybe. I don't
like
know.
out of all of that gory stuff you
Yeah.
just seen, you're gonna make
There's
chili.
a big plate of French fries that I've covered with ketchup for you already.
I know. It's like they're all like, maybe we should start making our own food. Like, bitch, we're kind of past
beyond
that.
that.
But
the same water.
I
Yeah,
did
at
love.
that point, they didn't realize where
Oh,
it was
yeah,
coming
they
from.
didn't.
Right. I again, all of these people are stupid, right? Don't think that I'm
I'm
like
telling
any
you.
of these people are smart. But
Did-
the one part where Paul's like, stop yelling. We just have to fucking talk. I was like, okay. But then he doesn't do anything smart. Still.
Well, and his dumbass when he starts, what is it? He leaves the cabin and then what? He goes on like a little trek. And
When he
comes-
goes to find the body
Where he-
and he's
no,
like
I think
hanging
he
off.
stumbles on it is what happens.
He
because-
finds it in the water
Yes.
and then he climbs down this rickety old ladder. I'm like, what the fuck?
The thing
Why
that-
are you doing
Yeah,
that?
why did you need to flip it over?
to know that it's
Like, what did it matter?
Yeah,
there's
what
a
did it
dead
matter? He's
body.
like, you know
go
there's a dead
get
body in there.
somebody, whether it's the dude or not. Like, there's a dead
you don't
body
need
there.
to you don't
I
need
need
to
to-
poke it with a stick.
People are dying. There's a dead body in the fucking reservoir. Get the fuck out of there.
No, he's like, whoa, I need to make sure this is the one that we killed.
Is this our dead
Is this the guy that we murdered, or do I have to keep looking for him?
Shit, it's our dead guy.
And what did even turning him around even accomplish? It's like,
Nothing.
okay, you probably have an idea of what the guy was wearing just because you need to flip him
It's
over
a
and yeah.
convenient fucking device to
And but then as
to
Paul,
add the terror.
as Paul though, you fall in. Like you're like, all right, I'm done for.
Yeah.
Right. I am been infected.
You know you're done for.
100%. I touched that dude in
And
this
now
water.
I'm in the water.
It's 100%. I'm just a goner. Why? Like I'm just gonna sit and wait.
So here, they need to remake the movie to where Paul's the last guy. He gets sick and realizes he's gonna die. Then he just starts infecting the town because he's like, "Fuck all of you, fucking assholes that did this to us."
Well, it pretty much
the
turns into that
revenge
at the end.
I will say, I've always
Unless that's what the
wondered.
second one's about.
I've always wondered what that guy had in his little box he was trying to get.
Oh,
I
yeah, I
know.
was
I
gonna
was
bring that
like,
up, too.
I was hoping that Jeff would come over and open the box. I'm like, "What's in the box?"
I'm
Jeff?"
like, is there some sort of shot in there that would have cured everyone? Like, what is that?
My guess is that he had a gun in there.
Probably.
And it's like, why?
Well,
if
they
you know
called it
you-
a kit though, and like the other guys had.
yeah, because he said,
a
"I'll
gun.
get the kit."
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the thing too. Like, what's in the kit?
What's the
okay.
kit?
What's the kit? I need to know.
Still, though, that guy's a dumbass because you see shit going down. It's like, oh, shit, you don't realize you have to open up the kit to start using it, and that fucker stabs you.
But
in-
that's the other thing that leads me to think that wasn't a weapon because the kit's useless if it's not a weapon. So
Yeah.
what was the point of opening the kit? What's in the kit?
We'll never know.
And then it's not even just the stupid teens who are stupid. It's this whole fucking town.
The
That's what I'm
hillbillies.
saying. If
Stupid.
you turn it into a revenge film to where like you're all gonna die.
Well, the last scene of it was more revenge because what you see the kids go to the little lake, they get the water, they fill it up, and then you get the
See, no,
panache.
that's just their own stupidity. I'm saying like
Winston's stupidity.
Yeah, that's more of Winston's stupidity and just like them trusting Winston to do anything. Apparently,
I
they don't
know,
even
why
trust
would
him with a
you
car. They don't even trust him with a car. He's got a fucking bicycle.
The thing that it just reminded me of the thing that I thought of is when they told Winston, he's like, "You took care of it, right?" It just takes me back to Dumb and Dumber
Yeah,
where he's like, "You took care of it, right?" He's like,
Yeah.
"I took care of it."
yeah.
Yeah, sure
Like, you
did.
dumbass.
But how did you take care of it? That's the question you got to ask. How was this taken care
And
of?
how did you accomplish it? I don't remember.
So horror PSA this week, I think, is don't drink spring water. Because
I've never liked
spring water. No, this is true. Like a lot of those companies, the bottled water companies, do just get it out of the lakes.
Well,
So, and there's not a bunch of regulated standards for American bottled water, just so y'all are aware.
the thing that I learned, especially, what was it? I was watching one of those shows, like, what's his face? Anthony Bourdain and that guy who does the other dude who does the weird food or whatever it need be. Like, who eats, like, I can't remember his name. But anyways, the point being is they said, is there anything that you won't eat? And he would always say, he's like, I will not drink the water. And the reason why is because you don't know what's in that water and what can get you sick.
Yep.
So he said, I will not drink the water unless A, it's either boiled or B, bottled. So that's the one thing I've always learned from that. It's like, I'm not drinking any water from anywhere.
Still not drinking any spring water.
Yeah.
I'm not drinking anybody else's water.
Yeah.
I'm
after-
saying like the
Yes,
bottled spring
yeah.
water either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, what do you have? Because I will drink. No, it's never tasted right. It's always been gross to me. I will taekwondo a motherfucker for a good stack of pancakes. I'm just saying.
Yes.
If
There were no pancakes involved, which made me
Yeah.
even more confused. Why he said pancakes and then bit his hand, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm talking like, Bert, come on. You saw that kid coming at you.
Yeah.
You couldn't have just been like, kick him.
You're like twice his size, maybe
Punch
3
the
times
kid
his
in the
size.
forehead.
When some
You
kid
can
tries
size
to
with-
grab
yes.
my hand to put it in his mouth, no.
Punch him right in that He-Man mullet and just boom.
I'm wiggling my hand away.
Yeah,
Nope.
and then Dad gets all pissed off. He's like, "Damn it, you got my boy sick, and now my boy's gotten sick. That means you just committed murder."
Yeah, something along
He
those
went along-
lines.
No,
Yeah.
he had a real weird roundabout way of justifying things.
Yeah, because he's like, "You killed my boy, which means you kill me, and if you kill me, then I got to kill you, or whatever." It's something.
There was no rhyme or reason, and all of these, like they've got some sickness, but none of them cared.
Sir, I
That
just
the
want you to
whole-
find a hat that fits you and calm down.
Like,
Yes.
their whole region was full of sickness.
Yes.
Like it wasn't just the kids.
Yeah, there was really no explanation about the hobo guy. I mean, I guess I don't know if we call him the
That's what
sick
it was.
one.
Yeah.
The hobo guy and his dog that got gutted as well by whatever was the
Well,
sickness.
whatever.
Yeah,
his
the dog just had it.
Yeah,
dog had it. He touched the dog, and then he got sick, and then he spread it.
yeah. I don't know. Just
Well, maybe in some of the shit sequels they explain the
no.
origin
I'm
of it.
talking about the other dog, the dog in the very beginning. So the hobo guy that they
Yes,
find, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He was out looking for his dog.
Yes, and he found it.
finds his dog. His dog is gutted.
Yes.
No,
Not Eli Roth.
No, I'm not talking about Eli Roth. I'm talking about the hobo
Yeah,
guy. I
I
know
know
who
who
you're
you're
talking about.
talking about. It wasn't gutted. It was just had that flesh eating thing.
Yeah,
He
the
lifted
flesh-
his
yeah.
leg up and it was just goo.
Yeah, because it ate his whole center out. Is what I'm
and
saying.
then it spit at him because
Yeah.
everything has to fly out of
Yes.
people in this.
Well, that's
Yes.
how you spread stuff.
That's
It's
how you
just-
spread
it's the
stuff.
whole. It's the precursor to the ass weasels in Dreamcatcher, basically. So
There you go.
it's along the same lines, but it's not the same
Yeah.
delivery system. No, it's a different species, I guess. Cousins.
There you go.
No rhyme or reason for many situations. Like
I
the
feel
whole the whole comedic of the N-word use in this film too. I'm like, not needed.
Yeah. And at the end too.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know why Eli Roth makes the decisions that he makes to put things in his movie that absolutely have no business being in there. Because they add nothing. They add
add
absolutely nothing. Good or bad. They
no.
add nothing.
that weird racist joke didn't land. Like it wasn't like worth the payoff. I
No.
guess like there was no point to it. Like a lot of the things in this fucking movie, like the blatant molesting and pervertedness. Paul was just a pervert, I guess.
Paul was a pervert.
because he did not get consent, and he was staring at that woman. Let's just be honest.
He was, and then
he
he
was.
fucks
Staring at
Jeff's
the woman.
girlfriend. Like, he's just not a good dude.
Areola fucks him. I don't blame Paul for that.
No.
Okay,
I blame both of them.
fine. They're both equally in on it. I'll give you that. But
It's just
takes two
why?
to tango is all I'm saying.
In a contagion situation, keep your bits to yourself.
But yeah, but at that point, if you know
But
you're
he
already
had
gonna die,
Listerine, so it was cool, baby.
I don't know, man. Like, I'm just saying. And you just saw this girl, right? Flesh eaten alive.
Yes.
You see your friends flesh eaten alive. Do you really want to put your dick into somebody else, or do you want to put your vagina on somebody else? No. It's not the time.
Again, Areola had given up, so she didn't care.
Giving up or not.
But yeah, but the weird thing about it though, at that point, she had
Ugh.
no idea she was infected.
Ugh.
No, because she was like, "We're all gonna get it.
Yeah.
We're all gonna die. We're all gonna get it."
So let's try to get it quicker?
Again, who wrote this movie?
Ugh.
Again, who wrote this movie?
I
and
guess.
who wrote the lines like, "We're all gonna get it. We're all gonna die." It
It's
makes
like
you
when
just
you
want
know you're on a plane and you know
It
it's
makes
going to
you
crash.
just want to
What?
grab the person next to you, and fuck them.
I've never been in that situation. Have you?
What? No, I've never been like, "We're gonna die. Let's just fuck right now."
Let's just give up. Nope, haven't
Let's
been
give up
there.
and fuck.
I don't know about you guys, but
Make love, not war. Who wrote this thing? Jesus.
Like, damn it.
this is terrible.
and Jeff, even Jeff's like, I'm gonna go survive. No, you're not, Jeff. You're gonna go live in a
Because
cave
you
for a
come
night.
back.
Yeah, that was the stupidest thing you've done. You could have gone back into town and be like, no.
Get out of that area.
Yes.
Like, you need to get away from this contagion.
And I love how
Bombo.
Paul, for whatever reason, decided to go on this trek to go exploring and trying to find Jeff for whatever reason.
It's in the water, Jeff. Don't
He
drink
just
the
starts
water.
yelling it.
Like, Paul, no, Jeff's on his own. You should be on your own.
Yes.
Stop trying to find the dead guy in the water. Really, I'm convinced he wasn't infected until he fell in.
I think it sped it up. I
Wait,
think
hold
it
on.
definitely, you know,
Had
had he not been, either way that sealed the deal. But I think either way, whether he had it or not, it either sped it up or just because he was fucking bathed in it, like it was.
Had he
it was gonna
banged?
fucking,
Had he banged the chick yet, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was afterwards. Yeah, because she was. Then she went. That's when she went to take the bath and all that, and he left or whatever.
But I think taking her bath sped it up too.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it did.
Yeah, because I think eventually they
Well,
all
she,
had it, but like you said, it. Like, I don't know if he full on had it because he had been
Yeah.
only drinking beer.
If he hadn't had it, he probably got it from girl when he banged her. If not, then when he fucking fell into the water.
Well,
Yeah,
she
for
clearly
sure.
had it because after they had sex, she had those marks on her back, and she was
They
like,
weren't
"You did a
going away.
number on my back."
Well, there was another scene where she had been drinking tea.
Oh,
yeah.
that's true. Right before that.
Yeah.
It was right before that because I think they were going to go deal with.
Because they kept doing those long shots on the tee. They're like, oh, this is what has it.
The tea, and
oh,
like
you-
even Bert had started getting it before the other two,
All those
because
long,
he drank the water.
yeah.
all those long shots on like the tea and stuff. All that needed was the terrible cheesy like TV like.
Yeah, like a Boy Meets
no.
World episode.
Literally, yes. Like, this was a Boy Meets World episode with blatant molestation and hillbillies, basically. I don't know. Was there ever a hillbilly episode of Boy Meets
But the
World?
hillbillies
Yes,
didn't
there
make
was.
any rhyme or reason either. Like,
Was it either? Like that
I
was
don't
the fucking
understand.
thing. Like, where do you go to school that like 5 minutes away in your fucking blazer with the shell off that you end up in backwoods to where
that
you're-
Bert calls
you're-
a Jeep.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck you, Bert. He called it a Jeep. I'm like, you
Get in the
bastard.
Jeep. I'm like, that's not a
That's a
Jeep.
fucking
No.
K5 blazer, you son of a bitch. No, but like, I don't know. Like, I didn't graduate college right at 22, but I'm like, if I'm gonna go anywhere, I'm not gonna go to some place that either, if I'm going somewhere I've never been, it's gonna be somewhere like a big city.
Yes.
Not like I've never been to this weird fucking cabin in the middle of nowhere. I'm gonna go there because I just graduated high school, or because I just graduated college.
Or whatever it may be. See? And you guys look at me like I'm crazy where I don't want to go out into the freaking woods or any of that shit.
Well, I'm not suggesting we go and visit some fucking backwoods cabin that none of us have ever been to.
Still.
Right? And I love how Marcy's like, oh, Jeff's mom always has it. Like, so his mom planned this trip for you and y'all
So
just
if
went with it?
anything, the last two movies are telling us don't listen to the mom.
Don't
Yes.
listen to Jeff's mom. She
Don't
makes
know. What
terrible
about Hills Have
choices.
Eyes? The mom wanted to go to the silver mine.
See, I think the mom could
Here
have
we
snapped
go.
out of it had somebody smacked her. That's all I'm saying.
Well, someone should have smacked Jeff's mom when she was like, "We're gonna buy this cabin."
Hey, somebody needed to
Why?
smack Bert, too. Bert needed a good
He was a man
I
child.
refuse to believe Bert graduated college.
Right? No.
I mean, come on. What did Bert major in? This is what
I
I
don't
want
know.
to know.
Maybe he just had rich parents. That's probably why he went.
If you have rich parents, why are you in this backwoods cabin
This is true.
in this weird hillbilly town with
It's-
one stoplight, or not even stoplight, stop sign?
I did love though how when the hermit or whatever comes out, they all go to fucking pieces immediately. Like they're all like, "Oh, we can help you," and then 2 seconds later, they're like, "Oh, shoot him! Shoot him! Shoot him!"
The thing that
I'm like, y'all are shit in
You
situations,
fucking
man.
hairsprayed him in the face and then lit the motherfucker on fire.
if Bert knew what he knew, and he's trying to freaking hide himself from that dude, it's like if you're trying to make your not seen, just go into the other fucking room so he doesn't see you.
And I love how he's like, "Oh shit, that's the dude I shot earlier." Maybe
He's just like tugging his hat down.
I
Like,
don't know.
Maybe he
Follow
won't-
me. Like,
And,
what?
and you're making it obvious that you don't want to be seen by these dudes. Like, just fucking go to the next room.
Maybe he won't notice me back here.
Yes.
Jeff.
And then he's like, "Hey, you're the guy who
You're
slams
the
the door on
fucker
him."
that shot me.
Right, and like they all have that moment where they're sitting around the table and they're like, "Okay, we got to get help. Like we got to go." And so they decide to go. They go and they find that other lady, right, the pig lady.
Yeah.
And then they're like, "Nope, nope. Like you guys are so fucking stupid. Go to town.
get
You
help."
need help."
Yes.
Sometimes you need help. You no matter how much you fucked up in this situation.
Like, hey, I get it. At 22, you're still at a point where like, I need a grown up.
Yes.
I need an adult.
Dad accidentally shot
I shot-
contagious hobo.
He
in the
wouldn't
woods.
stop coming close to me.
Because even then they start talking about it. It's like, well, what do we tell the police?
Yeah, so maybe test again, as I said last week. Give people see if Bert just would have been like, "Hey guys, I might have shot a dude." Then Marcy and Karen and Paul and Jeff could have already freaked out, right? And then
Yes.
they could have gotten the slap.
You
They
could
could've been
assess
like,
the
what?
damage, right? Fucking Sean could have came in and been like, "What's the problem?
Wah, wah, wah.
I
He's
shot
being a
a
wet
dude,
blanket.
man. I don't know what. I'm in deep shit, man."
Karen, I love you. Not the time.
Read
Paul.
the room, Paul.
He just
I'm
shot
gonna
somebody.
go fall asleep and hope nobody fingers me.
Right?
Jesus.
Ugh. Consent.
All right.
Consent.
All
But
right.
yeah,
How bad did you shoot?
if
the
you're
guy?
going on a trip with anybody, learn how
Make
they
sure
are.
they don't shoot anybody.
Learn how they
Don't
are in
panic.
situations.
Well, here's the other thing about it, though, too, is like they all got in the car and all of a sudden they got surprised that he showed up with a gun. Like, did you not see him pack his shit? How did he
Right.
smuggle that gun in there?
He probably just put it in the back. Like you guys probably put the beer next to this gun when you loaded
because
everything
all of a
up.
sudden you see him was like, what are you doing with a gun? Why do you have a gun? It's like, how did you not realize he packed one? You dumb
It's
dumbs.
and then he says it's a BB gun, and then
Well,
it
yeah, it
goes
goes
up. I'm
off.
like, that is
Yeah.
not a BB gun,
It was his only answer to everything.
right? Like, don't lie. If you have
Like,
a real
okay,
gun, tell me
like-
you have a real gun.
Like, okay, I get Jeff and Ariola wanted to bang as soon as they get there, right? But someone needed to babysit Jeff, apparently. Or
Yes.
someone needed to babysit Bert. Because fucking, Paul is still trying to have his Boy Meets World romance with the girl he's known apparently since 7th grade.
And it's never nutted up enough to tell
has
her
never told her what he should have apparently told her in 7th grade
before,
because he's still doing it like he would have in 7th grade.
right?
And birds go around starting
And,
fires.
yeah, Bert's, I'm gonna go shoot squirrels. Like, okay, first of all,
He sets the fire pit on fire.
Yes.
why are you? Well, wait,
Like,
why
what are you
shooting it?
doing, Bert?
If you have a friend like Bert, and we're like, do not let this person drink and use a firearm at the same time. Like, Bert may have belonged
Yeah.
in this town, is what I'm saying.
Bert fully belonged in that town.
Bert could have found a happy home in this town.
He could have been a hermit with the hermit dude.
He would have cleaned up his stuff. He would have found a nice woman, cleaned up his act. He could have lived in this town. He could have ran the store for Clancy or Jad or whatever his name was.
He could have been Winston's partner.
He
There
could
you
have.
go. Oh, him and Winston. That's the movie I want to see.
Was
That's the buddy.
Winston, like-
That's the buddy cop movie I want to
Was
see.
Winston
Bert and
out here
Winston.
trying to commit statutory rape a lot?
Bert.
Like,
Oh.
When you tell a 12-year-old she has sexy shoes, then
like, he literally
there's more than
forces
one
the
thing.
beer to her lips. Like, he's
Yeah.
literally like, drink more of this. Like, bro, what? Are you trying to have sex with this child right now?
Okay, here's the other weird thing about the quote-unquote underage drinking party. The 2 or 3 girls that were around him were the only ones that looked like they were actually underage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the other people, like you guys look like you're in your fucking 20s. Like you look more grown up.
You mean
than
the other
fucking
dudes
college.
that apparently kidnapped these children to bring
Well,
to this party?
No, like there was a couple there that I'm like, you're clearly in like your mid 20s. Like you look older than the fucking college grads in the cabin.
Yeah.
The guys with the like band guys that were there,
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing here? You just like,
Yeah,
we
it's
booked
total
this
fishbowl.
cornfield to play. Like what?
Well, the trade-off is we get the underage drink with Winston if he hits on my 12-year-old sister.
And what happened that guy like? So the guy got hit by the guitar.
Yeah.
And that shoved the harmonica
Yeah,
into his.
yeah.
I'm like, but the
That's
harmonica
right.
doesn't fit in your mouth that way.
We had these fucking Looney Tunes gags in that fight scene.
It gets all the way in his throat.
Not just that though, but rewind it just maybe 5 minutes beforehand when Sean freaking runs through that deer that was obviously
the deer.
obviously
oh my God,
badly
that was
so fake.
so bad.
Yes.
With its legs just kicking.
Yeah, just
No, not even that. Like that cut right before he hits it, it's just like, I'm like,
Yeah.
that's a big ugly stuffed animal. Like, it's not even
Yeah.
good fake deer. Like, you could have at least got like a fake fucking like, hunting fake decoy deer.
No, they
that
spent
looked
it
better.
all on the fake dog in the beginning scene. That was their whole.
It is the big bag of weed.
well, the sad thing about it though too is seeing on some of the visual effects people, it was like Nicotero. I'm like, really, come
Yeah.
on, dudes! Like we know what you are
Like,
now.
did you guys give him $12 for this movie?
And okay, I have another question about the FX. So the Grimm character, right, Justin or whatever,
Yeah,
was that supposed to be his legs in the cave?
yeah.
Because I'm like, but he tripped over him, and the way he fell, like he had to have tripped over his legs, not
Well,
like his torso.
I don't know.
So,
Well, what I get out of that is somehow, some way he came apart.
well, yeah, his dog, I'm assuming, is
You
what
started
they
eating him.
Yeah,
Mr. Mamba.
but like he had too much at the end of
Yeah.
his body for those to have been his legs. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like I was like,
Yeah,
no,
I
the
was-
proportions don't match.
I was still like for a second like, but you're not gonna go see who that was over
yeah,
there?
I was like, who is that? That can't be his legs.
Like, is that Jeff or not? Like, okay. And then when Jeff came out of the bush or whatever later, I was like, okay, guess. So who's that other? Oh, okay. That was just shitty. Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
it.
I've never been staying in a cabin and we're like, oh, there's some guy coming out of the woods. Let's hang with him. No,
No.
But he had a big bag of weed.
I don't care. I have my own weed. I'm a
Mr.
grown up.
Mamba.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Again,
thank you.
it just-
Again, that was cabin fever. No, thank
If
you.
you happen upon strangers, just
Leave them alone.
big bag of weed.
And hey, we know contagion now, right? We've lived
This
through a
is-
pandemic. There's another one on the horizon with some
sadly,
monkeypox now.
this movie could happen still
Yes.
in today's day and age.
Don't touch each
People are
other.
stupid.
Just don't. Yeah.
Stay away from each
Just
other.
stay with your small circle of friends and don't let anybody else in there, especially if you're out in the middle of the woods.
Don't
Yeah.
hang out with birds.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what age you are.
And if you don't know who the bird is, then you probably are.
You might be the bird.
Are you the bird?
And
Are
again-
people, do people say your name more than anyone
Right.
else's?
And
in the
again,
group?
if you're going traveling with somebody, learn how they deal with stressful situations because you don't want to be in this situation and find out you have
Always
a Bert
know who's
or a
carrying.
Jeff
Always
or a
know.
Marcy. Like you
Yes.
don't want to be one of those people.
Always know who's carrying weapons in your group.
Be prepared. Just be prepared.
Be prepared.
That's what I started thinking of too. Like, damn it, Scar.
Well, that was this week, Cabin Fever. We are coming back next week with another summer getaway fun time movie.
Yes.
Woohoo!
Getaway summer fun time movie.
So we are back, and we are back, baby.
At least we hope
got
to be.
Another thing coming. We've got some more fun times coming up in September.
Got stuff and things.
Stuff and things on the
Stuff,
horizon. So stay
things.
tuned. Make sure
Sometimes
you
things, sometimes stuff.
subscribe or
Yes.
follow or whatever you got to do to make sure you know when an episode drops because we don't even know when the episodes are going to drop all the time because life
We have kids.
and jobs.
Children.
Yes, and jobs.
But
things and
we
stuff.
love doing our episodes for you guys. So we hope that you enjoy listening to them. And we are so thankful that you listen to us. So drop us an email if you want to say hi. If you've ever wanted to request a movie that we do, drop
Yes.
us an email at podcast@scarynerd.com.
Yes, because I like being interested in what movies people suggest for us.
Yes. So
Trust me,
To
I
it.
do not watch Eli Roth for me. I do this
For
for
you.
you.
Yes.
this is all for you
I
guys.
do not willingly ever go into watching Eli Roth. And if and when we ever do a Rob Zombie movie, you can be damn sure
There you go.
I am not doing
There
it
you
for
go.
my own fucking pleasure.
There you go. People start suggesting those because I think it'd be hilarious.
We got to do a whole month of Rob Zombie movies.
Oh, my
Just
gosh.
the worst of the worst of the
There's
worst.
enough by now, isn't there?
There's,
But again,
you know what? Maybe when fucking
we're not watching the Munsters.
maybe when the
no.
Munsters comes
I
out.
refuse.
Oh,
I saw the preview. That was enough for me.
Oh.
But remember, kids, if you're ever in a situation and
Follow
somebody
your
starts
dreams.
freaking out, just give them a good smack. They need to get
Smack
back
'em in
to
the face.
reality.
Follow
You don't
your
need to get
dreams.
infected with the cabin fever skin flesh eating
Yes.
virus. And also, consent is sexy. Don't be fingering people in their sleep.
yeah, it's bad.
That's all we're saying. That's bad. Yes.
It's bad.
Very bad.
Keep your hands to yourself.
Yes. Fingers,
Plus-
hands, feet,
How
anything.
horrible are you at fingering if she didn't wake up?
Right?
Yes.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean,
Paul.
you didn't do a good job.
All
Anyway,
I'm saying. Jeez,
we'll
man.
see you next week. Bye bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.